This is the Northern Monkeys Cricket Show. This is a new series where we're going to go through each day or most days of Test cricket, England and elsewhere. And we're going to go through our thoughts of the days and just give our views. My name's Matt, and that's Mick.
Hello.
There will normally be three of us, but some of us aren't committed as others, so what can you do? So we're going to talk about day one of the first test of the two-match series in Sri Lanka, England against Sri Lanka. Mick, perfect day for England. You couldn't wish for much more. Them all out for a low score, us sitting pretty on 1-2-7 for 2.
Well, what more could you want? Maybe a bit of a lead would have been nice, but, you know, I mean, you lose the toss and they put themselves into bat. They decide to bat, and you think, yeah, this is going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day at field. And, well, thankfully, they found the self-destruct button pretty quickly, didn't they, Sri Lanka? So, you know.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. I mean,
go on.
I don't know whether you want to go through the wickets or not, but I mean, people will have obviously seen the game or certainly seen the highlights. I don't know what to say really. I don't know what to say. I mean, some of the shots were sort of, you know, old my beer, weren't it? You know what I mean?
They just stupid shots. I mean, the team news really before we go into that is that Jimmy Anderson, he's obviously reinvested, and Dan Lawrence has made his debut. Dropped one as well on debut.
Yeah.
Not the start you want when you first your debut. First morning at first test.
Yeah.
Put one down to Jack Leach. Jack Leach only got one wicket, but Jack Leach was brilliant. His bowling was so good.
Yeah.
And he was really unlucky to only get one wicket and that run out as well, which were quite unlucky. But yeah.
Yeah.
The batting was, you can't even say it's sort of village standard, because even at that level, you're not doing reverse sweeps.
I don't understand. No. You know, you're 35 for 2 or whatever it was at the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
25 for 2, so even less, 25.
What? I don't know. What? Why? Well, it's not a great position to be in, to find yourself speechless when you're doing a podcast about you know the sort of performance of the day.
Yeah.
But I am speechless, and it was just like, well, I don't know. It was literally like a Sunday afternoon, day at park where a couple of beers on board, weren't it, or a couple of 3 beers on board. You know, let's see who can go in there and get out in the most ridiculous way. It's a test match. We've got 5 days. You know, we're on the first morning. Before lunch, and we try and reverse sweeps and all sorts of other daft stuff. It just did not make any sense to me at all. It's just, I don't know, immature cricket, really.
They don't play many tests. I think the stat is that since England went last time, they've played 1 test series in Sri Lanka. Yeah, but that's very, very obvious.
I don't play any tests. I've never played a test in my life. And I know that if I'm batting on day 1 of a test and we're already 2 down before lunch, I know that playing a reverse sweep is perhaps not the best way to go.
Yeah. I think the worst one is the guy that got out last, and I've not written his name down here, but you're sitting on 135 for 9, and you're sort of thinking, right, we need to stay in for as long as we can. Let's try and tick the scoreboard over. You know, we've seen teams go from 135 for 9 to 200.
Yeah.
It's very, you know, it's feasible to happen. You're at home. You should know your conditions.
We're on a good pitch. We're on a batting pitch because we won the toss and we decided to bat on it.
Yeah, so I'll do a reverse sweep about 3 yards outside off stump, straight off to leg stump.
Yeah, I mean, comical really. In the context of the game, it's comical. I mean, it would have been a daft dismissal on a T20 game.
It would, yeah.
You know what I mean? But before tea on first day of a 5-day test match, and it's last wicket, I just
yeah. I mean, we've all sort of been me more than you, because I'm much more a slogger than you, where you get told when you go into bat, right, head on, sensible. I don't know, 55 5 in village games, nothing silly. Right, get caught Easy one at mid-off. Brilliant.
Yeah.
There we go. Done.
Yeah.
I'll get changed.
It was definitely one of your kind of shots.
It might have been. On to some positives. Now we've laughed at some terrible batting. Stuart Broad got 3 for. We know Sri Lanka's not very friendly for fast ball, all subcontinent. It's not massively positive for fast bowlers, but Stuart Broad's found another lease of life. After getting dropped last summer, he just looks one of the best bowlers we've got, if not the best bowler.
It's a strange one, Stuart Broad, isn't he? And in my head, he strikes me as quite an inconsistent bowler. And I know he's got tons of wickets. He's got tons and tons of first class test wickets. Sorry, I get all that, but there are times when he's just not on it at all. But when he's on it, boy, is he on it! Yeah. And it doesn't really matter what the conditions are. You know what I mean? And today, as you say, he's got 3 for and bowled really, really well, really well. So in conditions that clearly don't suit fast bowlers.
No,
you're away in Sri Lanka, and they've won the toss and decided to bat. I know I've said that 2 or 3 times, but that can only indicate one thing, that it's a batting wicket.
Stuart Broad's one of them. Is if you pick all the bowlers out of world cricket, it may not be your first pick, but if you've got peak Stuart Broad, absolute peak Stuart Broad, then he is one of your first picks in the world. Yeah. He's one of them people that suddenly goes into a spell, and this spell can last. It's lasted since last summer. This spell. Sometimes it might only be a 10-over spell, and he'll take 7 wickets or whatever. Yeah, he's kept this consistency up since last summer. I know we've not played any tests since summer, but he just looks absolutely on it.
It was since he got dropped. Yeah, since and he considered it a bit of an injustice, and perhaps it was based on his form. I don't know. Yeah. But he clearly wasn't happy about it, and since he's come back, he's proved his point and proved why. Yeah,
he has. He's a mainstay for England. I can't see him, and rightly so, not getting dropped for a while. Jack Leach got 1 wicket. Chandimal was the one he got, and then a run out as well. It was very, very solid, Jack Leach. I thought he bowled really, really well and didn't get the wickets that he deserved. Somebody who, again, didn't get the wickets that they deserved is Dom Bess. 5 for 30, I think he ended up on. There was one where he bowled it and he pitched it halfway down wicket, and the guy's just hit it straight to man. The guy could basically almost dropped it because he couldn't believe his luck that he's ended up having a catch off it. Dom Bess will not bowl as badly and get 5 wickets ever again.
No.
Although say bowl badly might be a bit harsh. He wasn't awful.
No, but he didn't bowl a 5 for. It weren't a 5 for performance, were it? Realistically, but I guess it's just the way Sri Lanka have set up on that. Come out, or the attitude that they come out with on that first day. Somebody were going to get one, weren't they? Somebody were going to get a 5 for, and then Sri Lanka seemed to be determined to allow that to make that happen. And these players, it's not as though they're not used to playing spin.
Oh yeah.
There's no excuse. Ultimately, I mean, we're having a bit of a laugh about it, but there's absolutely no excuse for the way Sri Lanka batted this morning. None at all.
I agree. Watching the Sky Sports coverage, obviously, as we do over in England. Kumar Sangakkara, I could listen to Sangakkara all day long. Yeah. He talks so much sense. Everything he says, I love everything he says. And they were basically saying that it's one of the worst innings of Test cricket they've ever seen. Or they were all pretty unanimous about that. From a batting side, not necessarily from the bowling side.
Yeah.
Much, to be honest. But this is the issue with Sri Lanka is you've got people in the past who've had like Sangakkara and Jayasuriya and all these other world-class batsmen.
Yeah.
They haven't really got any. They've got nobody there anymore, and that may come from not playing any Test matches, I suppose.
Yeah, possible. You do certainly need the experience to play Test match cricket, don't you? Or you need somebody in your team with that experience. I suspect it's one of those rebuilding jobs for Sri Lanka at the moment, isn't it? Yeah. So
definitely.
We'll see
On to England. Yeah, well, both of England's batting. Dom Sibley out for 4 and Crawley out for not much either, which they'll both be disappointed with. But Bairstow and Root have come in and played the spin like it's absolutely nothing.
Right. Bairstow's got that look in his eye.
Yes.
He has got that look in his eye. It's just the way he's holding himself, the way he's performing, the way he's seeing the ball at the moment. He's just got that. He's got that 200 look in his eye.
Yeah.
Absolute dogged Yorkshire determination, lad.
Well, with the way the game's set up, England can bat, could potentially bat if they wanted to, rain depending. They could bat for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Somebody could go. Somebody could go big here if they wanted to.
There's certainly potential.
Yeah, the spin seems to suit Bairstow. Bairstow struggles against rapid pace in Test cricket anyway. So hopefully he can go on. Root's got his 50th Test 50 today. So if he can kick on, a lot of people talk about Joe Root's conversion rate. And he'll be fully aware, as every cricketer is, that he needs to make sure he turns them in the 50s into hundreds and so on and so on. But they look so comfortable against the spin. So
I mean, this is an ideal opportunity for both of them to like you said, to make big bucks here. You would think it's fill your boots time. The only, and I've not seen any pitch reports at all from anybody because I've been. Because I haven't. I don't know whether this pitch is going to deteriorate as the match goes on, and whether that's why Sri Lanka decided to bat first because they didn't want to bat last on it. I don't know, but it's going to be a moot point if England bang 500 on board in first innings, isn't it?
Of course it is. It has started breaking up already. A few of the even when England were bowling, the pitch were breaking up. As it does on the subcontinent, the pictures from the day before the game where it looked like a road, it looked flat as anything. And then end of day one was saying the pitch is breaking up, which is standard. But like I said, if we get 500, which is very feasible, because we've got Bairstow and Root set. You've got Dan Lawrence coming in for debut who will want to get some runs. So you got Butler to come in, Sam Curran can bat, Don Best can bat. It could be a big score, so hopefully, from England's point of view, it is.
Fingers crossed.
Interesting. Hopefully, from Sri Lanka's point of view, they can make it a game, make it interesting. I don't think they can, to be honest.
Don't look good at the moment, does it?
No. So thanks everybody for watching. Subscribe to the Small Monkeys channel if you've enjoyed it. We'll come back again tomorrow, so after day 2, with another brief rundown of that game. We'll hopefully be joined by somebody else as well. You never know.
You never know if you can get a computer.
Yeah, very true. So thanks very much, Mick.
No worries. Thank you.
And let's look forward to another good day with Test cricket, hopefully.